everybody, today I'm going to do another video about the Urban Decay Electric Palette. Like I said, it's Electric Palette Week here on my channel. And this video I think is going to be really helpful. At least I hope so. That's obviously always the goal. So what I wanted to talk to y'all about was a this or that. So I've done one of these videos before with the Lorac Pro 1 and Pro 2, kind of to see which one of those should you buy. And I want to do them again with two different Urban Decay colorful palettes that are both available right now and they're both on sale. So you probably know what they are, but just in case, it's the Urban Decay Electric Palette, like I already mentioned, and the Urban Decay Full Spectrum Palette. So this was, the Urban Decay Electric Palette was in their permanent collection for a really long time. It's been around for a few years and it's very popular. They're pressed pigments. I have done a full review of this palette, so if you want to see my full thoughts on it, you can just go ahead and look at that below. But it's really beautiful. Now, for the Christmas, I don't know, I feel like with the Christmas season, which is in December, but with the makeup brands that come out with them from like anywhere from August to like right around Christmas. I don't know what was really Christmas and what wasn't. I'm pretty sure this was supposed to be Christmas, but it's the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette. So this was never in their permanent collection. It was always a limited edition palette, and it looks like this. I don't believe I've done a full review of this palette. I don't really know. Isn't that bad? I make a lot of videos. I love this. So if I have one, it'll be linked down below, but I honestly can't remember. I think I have. I think I did. Because I used this when I went to Universal and I got like a lot of use out of it. So I think I did. I think so. But this was always limited edition. Now I want to say, I don't remember the exact full price. I want to say this was like $49 and this was like $50 something. So they were right on the same price. However, they are both on sale. Right now, at the filming of this video, you can buy the Urban Decay Full Spectrum Palette for $32 at Sephora or Ulta. And probably on the Urban Decay website, I didn't check there, but I know Sephora and Ulta, which is where most of us shop because of the reward systems. And you can buy the Urban Decay Electric Palette for $24. So right now, they're both on sale and they're both great deals. I love both of them. I'm super happy to have them. However, let's be honest. They're pretty darn similar. They really are. They're both super bright, super colorful palettes. Now, the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette is a palette of eyeshadows. And as far as I am aware, you can use all of these on your eyes. They don't say on the packaging that you can't. If I'm incorrect on that, please go ahead and let me know. I have used all of my eyes. Now, just a reminder, the Urban Decay Electric palette is a pressed pigment palette. And Urban Decay specifically says on the back of this palette that you are not supposed to use Jilted and Urban and Savage and Slow Burn on your eyes. Again, it's been totally fine, but that's a you thing. That's a you thing. If that makes you uncomfortable, you should know that. So, this or that, if you had to pick one, which do I recommend? I have to say 100%, I love them both, but I recommend the Full Spectrum palette. There's quite a few reasons for that. Again, this is the Full Spectrum palette is actually eyeshadows. And you can use all of them on your eyes. Even though I haven't had a problem using these 4 of the 6, 40%, almost half of this palette on my eyes, I understand that you might not want to do that. Also, I personally have not had any problems with staining of this palette. It does kind of stain slightly on my hands, but as far as on the eyes, I have not had that problem at all. However, I do know that some people complain about that with this palette, which is never good. You don't want to have staining, especially if you're like, it's the weekend, you're having fun, you're like, hey, let's put some red on my eyes. And then it's time to go back to work, and you have maybe more button-up job, and you could never wear red on your eyes. Like, you don't want it to be stained. I don't believe anyone, I have not also had problems with staining on the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette, but I don't think anyone else has either, as far as I'm aware. The other thing is the Full Spectrum palette is all amazing. There are no duds in this palette whatsoever. As I mentioned in my review, in the Urban Decay Electric palette, two of these shades are kind of duds. The Revolt shade, which is this pretty silver, and the Chaos shade. Chaos isn't terrible, it just doesn't blend well at all, and it's kind of patchy. Revolt has almost no, like, it's a pretty glitter shadow. If you want like a glitter silver, put that on. But if you want like a silver opaque shadow, it's not great. Also, just look at the colors. There are so many more. You have 10 versus what, 21? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Versus 21 shades. You can get so many more looks with this. And you do get a lot more shade variety. You get darker, more medium, and more light. You also have what you could call your neutral side right here. You get 3 neutral shadows. You get a shimmery black, kind of a, it's not really a white, but it's kind of white. Oh, see that lighting. I mean, we'll call it like a whitey champagne, like shimmery shade, and then a matte white. So you do kind of have a couple of shadows to really round out your look. You don't have that with the Urban Decay Electric palette at all. Now, I'm not saying that these are side-for-side dupes. I do think there are unique shades in each item. Specifically in the Electric palette, because obviously the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette has a lot of unique shades. But this shade, Jilted, I think that's very unique to my collection. I've used it as a lipstick. I just kind of put my 17 and 17 lip palette, the Too Faced one. I put that on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link the 17, my most recent update, down below. I put that lip palette on, and then I just kind of stuck my finger in this and kind of pressed it about, and it made a beautiful lipstick. It's also a really pretty shadow because it has this nice blue duochrome shift to it. That's very unique, even for my entire collection. However, the rest of them are beautiful. And Thrash. It's like a bright neon green. It is not a yellow. Now, in comparison, let's look at Goldmine and let's look at Mean from the Spectrum palette. Goldmine is a yellow. Mean actually might be pretty similar. Y'all, I stand corrected. Mean is pretty similar. Goldmine, not at all. But Mean is this lower one, and then that is Thrash. Mean is not as pigmented. You will find that for the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette, it's not quite as pigmented. Now, don't get me wrong. It is pigmented. I had absolutely no problem with any of these shades. I have used every single shade, and I think they're all gorgeous. However, these are eyeshadows. The Urban Decay Electric palette are pressed pigments. So these should be more pigmented, which is a wonderful thing, but it's also kind of a blessing and a curse because these are a little bit hard to work with. They're not impossible. If you like color, girl, you can do it. I promise. If you're a little scared of color, girl, you can still do it. But you have, this palette's a little more forgiving. There is a price difference right now. There is an $8 price difference. However, for $8 more, you're getting 11 more shades. So you make your decision. Here they both are. You can get both of them right now. I think they're both beautiful palettes. I obviously have both of them. I do think that I don't want to admit it, but I honestly think that they kind of sort of serve the same purpose, especially for most people who aren't going to use a rainbow eyeshadow every day. I wear a lot of colorful makeup, but that's because I'm a college student and I can. I am applying for a really prestigious fellowship. Send up a prayer if you don't mind. Right now, and it's in DC, and I'm really hoping I get it. Obviously, I can't wear makeup like this all the time. So, you know, I mean, I wear a lot of, but even that being said, how often do you go through eyeshadow? I know this is something that people bring up a lot, and it's kind of annoying, but it's also a really good point. I'm doing a 17 and 17 trying to use up some eyeshadow. And I'm doing a pretty good job. I'm very proud of myself, but it's a very cognizant effort. Trying to, like, the idea that, oh, well, I have Thrash, but maybe I'll use it up and then I'll have Mean. How likely is that, especially with these shades? I'm not trying to tell you you can't have both. Because if you want both, then get both. You know, you can get both of them for $56. Yeah. Which is kind of the price of one of them. So it's kind of almost like a buy one, get one free. However, if we're trying to be realistic, if we're trying to be more sensible, which we kind of should be, I'm not the best at that, let's be honest. I think you only need one, and if I had to tell you which one to choose, I would say get the full spectrum palette. Those are just my thoughts. I have a lot of them. I realized that was a little rambly, but I wanted to make sure I get everything out. I feel like almost every single video I finish it and I'm like, cool, done, awesome. And then I like start uploading and I'm like, oh, here's 75 things I just forgot to mention. So hopefully I don't do that with this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. Let me know what else you want to see on this channel. I love to hear from y'all. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, because again, it just lets me know that you like this kind of video. I'm not saying I'm the only person that ever did this, because I feel like YouTube is so huge and there's so many creators that it's kind of hard to be like, I came up with this idea. I wish I did. I remember like I thought I came up with something and I was like, yo, look at me. And then I like Googled it and I'm like, oh, a lot of people have done that actually. But you never know. I did the same thing with my research, fun fact. But I'm not saying I came up with it, but I think it's really fun. I think it's really helpful. And I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, you can subscribe to my channel and you can see more videos of me. Hopefully that's a good thing. If you hate me, then don't subscribe, because then why? Or you can just subscribe and not watch me. I'm cool with that too. I'm not offended. But yeah, I'm sorry, getting a rambly. I hope you enjoyed it. This dress is from Target. Everything that's on my face will be listed down below. It always is. And I'm wearing different rings today. Someone actually asked me about my rings. I don't remember your name. I'm so sorry. That's so rude. And I usually wear the same rings, and I don't talk about things that you can't get as far as my jewelry or like my clothes, because that's just annoying. And like I usually wear my senior ring from the University of Florida. Can't get that. And then a ring I got at a boutique, but these are from H&M. That's from a boutique. It's my favorite Bible verse. That's a Fitbit. I did a video about that. I'll link that below too. It's time to go. It's time to go. I apologize. I'll see y'all real soon. Bye.